What's good? Little trade recap. I took one trade today. It was the short on NQ. It was a win, pretty clean. So yeah, let's get into that right quick. So going into today, I was bearish. Now, why was I bearish going into the morning? So obviously, bigger time frame order flow was extremely bearish after this just absolutely generational dump from Monday. Market just absolutely sells off, and now we're starting to kind of accumulate at the lows right now. Notice 4 hour time frame is working out of this bearish imbalance. If this will load, so this bearish imbalance here is continuing to hold bearish, and yeah, we've got like this untapped here, but like if I'm gonna think that the market's gonna go higher, what do I need to see first in order for me to think that we're gonna see higher, complete this buy model here, and go back to all time highs? The market needs to start to just place up through bearish imbalances on the bigger time frame, right? So don't overcomplicate your bias on days like this. If the market's extremely bearish and we're showing no sign of wanting to go higher, you should be bearish. Now, on the lower time frame, on the 15-minute, as you can see, we're starting to chop around, and I do recognize when I got on the charts this morning that we have all of this generated buy side. However, this is an SMT, so ES had already taken out this high here. If I drag over ES, as you can see, this high here was taken out pre-market on ES, and then so this becomes a bearish SMT on NQ, and then more importantly than the SMT itself is what? The reaction of the SMT. So what is the reaction of this bearish SMT? Heavy displacement lower, change in the state of delivery on the 15-minute, and a 15-minute inversion for value gap. So as soon as we get this SMT at the highs, displacement back inside the range, inversion for value gap, this becomes a smart money reversal, which makes this sell side of the curve in this market maker sell model. So I'm extremely bearish going into the market open, and I just need to wait for, obviously, like right here. This is being extremely glitchy right now, so gonna have to wait. Okay, that's slightly atrocious. At market open, there's no really real entry for me. I was looking at I liked how it kind of had this little low intact, and I was looking for market to potentially open, come up, sweep this internal high, and then look to take some sort of inversion to the downside. Now that doesn't end up happening. We just immediately dump at market open. I'm like, okay, can't touch anything here. I need more information. And then in a second, we get like some absolutely freaking generational move. Yeah, that's a crazy move higher. That's like a 160 point candle, I think. 150 point, like just crazy candle. And even at this point, like even once we get this massive move, notice, do we ever take out sell side liquidity? No. So the draw is still intact. The higher time frame model is still intact. And what I notice is that NQ, all we do is just come up and tap this 15-minute. So even once we get this massive move higher, I'm not like automatically, switching my bearish bias and saying, well, oh, we're going to go higher. Like until we start to like really displace, like I'm still bearish. Like this, I'm just viewing this as manipulation basically because this model here, once again, is still very off. This is ridiculously glitchy, but this model right here is still extremely bearish. And remember, higher time frame order flow is extremely bearish, as you can see from the sell-off. So this little 1 minute candle, I mean, this large 1 minute candle doesn't make me switch my bias. So I'm just waiting here, being patient, nothing here for me. Now, we end up just dumping through literally everything. Bro, this is so stupid. This is taking forever. We end up like, market just absolutely dumps here. And there's actually like a 30-second bearish for value gap here that like maybe you could have shorted. For me, it was personally way too early because, I mean, obviously we're just still working out of this big imbalance, but there was a bearish 30-second here. If you caught that, awesome, because, I mean, you caught some crazy sell-off, so, like, great for you if you caught that. For me, it was personally too early. I just needed to see more information. So once we get this sell-off, what ends up happening is we get a 3-minute inversion here. So the highest time frame inversion, the highest time frame for value gap in this price leg is this 3-minute here. And we end up just completely dumping below this. Now notice we don't close below it with the first candle here. It actually holds by about 4 points. So I did not take my short here. I just needed to see more info. But once we get this big sell-off, this is where the high probability opportunity comes in. Because could you take this short? Yes, but just personally, in my opinion, this short, while it is a great move, it's not as high probability as the second short because simply because this has not happened yet. Once this happens, like look at this from the bigger picture. What are we doing? Market opens, we trade up back to this order block. SMT still intact. We tap the 15-minute. This is still extremely bearish. We still have these lows intact. We hold the 15-minute change in the state. So this is literally just manipulation at market open, and then we completely dump. So once this dump happens, it's extremely obvious to me that the draw on liquidity is these lows, right? Because at this point in time, once we get bought up, maybe, maybe we might want to go take these highs even though there's a bearish SMT. But once this move happens, it's painfully obvious to me that the market is bearish and wants these lows. So at this point in time, once this internal low gets taken, I'm like, okay, if we get a rebalance, I can look to take a short. If we don't, then I'm not going to take anything. So we do end up getting a nice rebalance here. And what we do is we come up to this bearish 3-minute imbalance, which is the highest time frame in this price leg. So this is the biggest imbalance. Notice there's was no 5-minute. That's okay. That's a 56-minute. Hang on. I don't know why this is taking so long. So there was no 5-minute here, and I do not believe there is a 4-minute. Okay, this is ES. I don't know what the heck's going on today. But yeah, there's no 4-minute, no 5-minute, but this 3-minute was the highest time frame. And the price leg, we get that rebalance. I don't know if we came to equilibrium. It doesn't really matter that much, though, if we're being honest. Um, yeah, we didn't. But here's where I take my entry. So this is the 15 second, and I really like the way that the 15 second looked. So, like I said, we come up to the 3-minute imbalance here, and then notice what we do here. This is just beautiful internal structure here. Market puts an initial high, sells off a little bit, so gives us that initial fake. I'm sure a lot of people went short here. But notice there was a 30-second here and a 15-second, but the 30-second never actually gets closed below. So I'm sure there are a lot of people that just kind of got FOMO, clicked sell right here, but you have to wait for the closure of the candle. Market comes all the way back up, sweeps the internal high, soups it. Now, once we have internal manipulation inside of the higher time frame key level, being that 3-minute imbalance with these relative equal lows down here intact, this is where at this point in time, I'm like, okay, now if we start to get this placement lower, I'm 100% going to take shorts because it's just a beautiful model. So we end up getting this beautiful 15-second change in the state here. This was also a 30-second inversion, so the 30-second ends up closing below this. And then as you can see, I take my short on the rebalance to the 15-second change. So like this was where the 30-second candle closed. We inverse this here. Change in the state gets put in. Next candle opens. We come up. We respect the change. That's where I take my short. And I'm simply just targeting sell side here. And yeah, that's pretty much the trade. We're kind of just chopping around now. Not really a whole lot to go over here, but yeah, that's today's trade. And you shouldn't, like, once the initial move plays out, do not try to trade. Like, don't try to trade this. Like, maybe you could, I mean, I wouldn't even touch that. Like, this, obviously, this was the manipulation, and then this was the daily objective. The daily objective was to go take these relative equal lows. Because notice what happens to the efficiency and price once these lows are taken. The market just craps the bed. Like, it's literally doing nothing. Like, I mean, maybe, yeah, it's just not. There's no good opportunity in my opinion here. Just wait, be patient, let the market do its thing. If you miss the move, it's fine. The market will be there tomorrow as well. There's no need to just try to force setups in low probability conditions. But yeah, 3 for 3 in the week, so pretty great way to start out this week. And yeah, see y'all in the next recap.